Hi, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sammy Toes' Fishing. Now, the year started out quite slow for me. Nice weather, but a social bit of fishing really with a couple of mates. This is January, and it was glorious, 24 degrees. The fish were a long way out because Hamish brought a bait boat, and we're catching at 250, 300 yards easy. But this is no carp bait. We wouldn't have got a chance to catch fish in these swims by casting. No way. They were 250 metres out easy in 20 foot of water. But bearing in mind this is January, so can't complain. The levels are down, and we caught fish to about 40 pound. I didn't catch many. I caught a couple. But for me, it was a social as much as anything else. So I managed to film. For me, it was a social as much as anything else. So I managed to film a few bits and pieces, and I was happy with that. I think the next bit of footage is from. I know it's a bit more famous. But after that, I found out my girlfriend was pregnant. So my daughter was born on the 18th of May. So January was basically the first bit of carp fishing and the last bit of carp fishing I've done this year. I think I had 2 carp on this session, and I really didn't give it an extra thought. If you've ever had kids, then that kind of takes precedent over trivial things like carp fishing. It was a bit of a shock to me, and subsequently I've been on the back foot as far as fishing is concerned, and YouTube videos. But here's a bit of footage. Hamish raving in a 20 pound common. I haven't got much footage of the fish on the bank because they were just a bit boring, and like I said, I tried to do the filming. The next bit of footage is from a session in March. Yeah, turned a bit nasty. Big thunderstorms. Same again, social session with the lads, Matt and Hamish. Bait boat, hundreds of metres out, different swims, and they caught the fish steadily. I lost the fish the first day, down to the left, and then subsequently sat and blanked for, I don't know, 6 days or something like that. The guys had packed up the day before this. They got there before me and left before me as well. I got the shitty end of the stick with the weather. Excuse me. Because the day they left, this happened, and it was terrible. And after a night of thunder and lightning and winds increasing, the next day it was just unfishable. It was 120 kph winds. And that set in for 5 days, 6 days, and I had to leave. I literally got blown off the bank. Bearing in mind, I didn't have a car, so I was borrowing mates' vehicles, and at the time a friend of mine came and rescued me, because I think the next bit of footage is actually my birthday, the 21st of March. So after that horrendous carp fishing session, a nice sublime day with my mate Howard, and the weather was totally different. It was only a month later, we'll say. Baby was due in a month's time, so I took the opportunity to go for a day with mate Howard, and we found a fish. We got on him. He caught a couple to just shy of 20 pound, 19, 20 commons or whatever. I blanked.
Oh, it is. Alright, how are we doing?
Lucky again, Sam, lucky again.
Well, you can't be lucky twice in a row. What's it feel like?
Nah, small.
Yeah?
I think so. Bit later, this goes 20, I think. Yes, I'm sure it is.
You just bring it in, I'll get the net ready when you... What bait did you get it on?
Monster crab, say monster crab. They're not gone, Joel. Decathlon, cheap as you like. Monster crab. Come on, where are you? Got to be under the other one, isn't it? That's small, I'm sure.
Probably have a right nice snooze.
Could be a mirror.
You think?
Yeah,
Big fat mirror.
it's a big fat one, but sure it ain't a big fat one. But it is, could be a mirror.
It's not far out.
I know.
Bit of rod bend in there. Has it gone? Fairly heavy.
No, it's. I think it's on. It felt like it's on a rock there for a minute. It's a bit solid, I thought. Maybe I go 20.
I'll get fucking bigger, don't they? Closer when you get them.
Oh, here you go.
Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is.
Mirror, isn't it?
Common. Common.
Is it? You gonna get it?
Yeah, I'll get it. I'm just filming the horses in the background. I'm just filming the horses in the background. With the foxy ladies on board. I got 21 seconds to go.
Oh, I think he wants to come play.
I don't fucking blame it. You're attached to the other end. There it is.
Oh,
You're
oh,
over.
I don't think he wants to play at all. Oh dear.
I think you're in between you two. Are you in between?
Yeah, I'm between them, I think. I'll get it back in.
Yeah, no, you're over the top. You're in between the two rods.
Am I?
Yeah, again.
Okay. I ain't over the top of the first one, no, am
You're over the top of this one. Yeah, your
I?
left hand.
You know.
Yeah, look.
Oh, you can get it, can't you?
Well, I can, yeah, but
Come on now.
yeah, look.
Yeah, all right.
And then I started roach fishing in August.
Underneath it.
I'm going to put them back now whilst we've got a bit of light. Mozzies everywhere. I think I've got like 5 or 6 over, well over a pound. And a few little shits as well, but the 2 pounder never came along. Do you want to see if you can't get these in shot? Have a look at them buggers. Most of them are over a pound. That's the big one there, look. That's a nice fish. All roach. Oh, which one was it going to weigh? Let's weigh. Let's weigh that one. Best way to do it is a plastic bag. Yeah, I'll send the camera over here. Oh, that is 2 ounces shy of £2, look. Oh, that's bang on £2, is that? I did get a £2. I got two 2-pounders. That one and that one. Look at them. You alright? Top one £2. That one's probably not £2. But that one is. That one's not, obviously. There they are anyway. That's what we like to see. Plenty of fish. There's the £2-pounder. There we go. That can go back to its watery home. And that'll do, guys. Cheers. Right, and here we are. I've got here really early in the morning. It's now 7:20, 18 degrees. Last night, 2 roach. Very hot, very hard work. So I put a load of bait in, came back first thing this morning. The fish aren't here yet. I'm going to keep this swim going. Hopefully I'll talk to you about that later. And fish it for carp later on in the week. At the moment, there's plenty of fish moving, but they don't seem to be on the bait. I've got the right hand rod out with sweet corn and the left hand rod out. There's a carp there, look. With a pellet. But so far, the swim isn't going very well. Beautiful morning though. And another carp. Hopefully we've got them to show you. But it's the roach I'm after. I will carp fish it, like I say, later on in the week, but good morning.
Now normally I'd be fishing for these fish on the float, big slider float, like a 15-18 gram slider float, but I think this is better suited for the bomb. It can be more efficient, quicker, you're not getting the tangles, you're not having to sink the line. Plus, if the wind gets up, it doesn't cause a problem. Okay, I'm not fishing very far out, but by simply bomb fishing and catapulting in ground bait and freebies, it's a more efficient way of fishing. This is the dam wall end, so it's very deep very quickly. And you can see there within 30 seconds I'm into a fish, which is what you want when you're fishing for these fish. You know, they're big roach, but they're just roach end of the day. The previous video was a session on the float. This was, I did get the float out this day, but most of my fish came on the bomb, with sweet corn and boilie and pellet and stuff like that. But it's like a very efficient way of catching, I think, you know, if you don't drop the fish in the water. I mean, I was netting most of them, but I mean, if this one went back, because obviously if you drop a fish on these rocks, it's dead. Now you can see here how calm it was on this day. I prefer late summer, early autumn for these roach. I do fish for them well into the winter, spring, etc. It's just because of conditions. Basically, it's flat calm here today. It was very hot this day. It was 35 degrees plus. But for short sessions, the afternoon, the morning, or whatever, when you get bored or when you get sick of it, you can just go home. And this was a morning session, and by lunchtime I'd had enough and went home. You can see the water's got a right nice green tinge to it, but that might turn into big algal blooms towards the back end of the year. We don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know anyway. And I think this is a bigger one of the two fish. You know, this could have been a pound 2, pound 4. And they've on the float tackle, they fight like tigers. But look at it. never been caught before, never. And the aim is to catch as many of them as possible, up to £2. Now, I'd like to have a go for the £3-pounders. I know they're in here. The biggest I've personally caught is £2 6 ounces weighed, but it was last year, and I did get into a fair amount of them bigger roach, over £2. This session it was a £2-pounder, but there has been days when I've caught 2, 3, 4 over £2 and just weighed the biggest at 2.6. Now it could easily be the best roach fishing I've ever. Well, it's the best roach fishing I've ever done, but it could be the best roach fishery in Europe. It's absolutely superb when you get on. Really good.
I'm going to say that's £2. Size 6 hook. Should really go barbarous, but yeah, that's what we're after. £2. Right, that'll do. 12:15. I've got 20 or so good roach in there and a big bream. It's getting hot. Poppy's had enough. I'm getting a roach every cast. Hopefully, I'll be able to show you that earlier on in this video. It's very difficult filming and fishing on your own. I don't know whether you guys have done it before, but especially with roach, you've got to have arms like bees' wings anyway, and everything very efficient. But no harm comes to the fish. I'll show you now on the scales. 0, right? So what they weigh is what they weigh. I'm adamant I've got a £2-pounder in here. That's bang on 0. Don't know whether you can see that. Bang on 0, right? Bream's got to be over £8. I have no idea. But now it's getting silly. There was a fisher chucky, like, you know, and tired, want to go home. I'll pour them onto there and just pick the biggest 2 or 3 out. They've been in here long enough, you know what I mean? Bang this on the scales. £1.2, right? And that's average. Well, slightly bigger than average. There you go, that's a good size. £1.2 ounces, right? Let's weigh that thing. Look at the size of him. Look at that. On the tip rock. Put some water out because swam through my bag. Oh well, that's the weighing session gone anyway. I'll have to get waist lick, but there you are guys. Not bad when you're fishing for them. So that's 2 or 3 ropes gone back already. There's a big one. Look at that one now, that's got to be over £2 that. Oh. Yeah. Get them books back, boys. Look at them. 10 or a dozen fish there, I'll say. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to dry out. Go home, have a snooze this afternoon, I think.